I got gay friends I've had on the show. Because you don't know them or it ain't who you want on the show, you got a problem with it.
I always thought third base crossed a little bit.
They're a little more on the underground side.
Okay, because you know the stats more than me.
Yeah.
I mean, people I love, just because I love them doesn't mean they cross. You're right.
Going after Carson, I went after everything he leaves over. The people that watch Johnny, I went after their kids. And instead of competing with them, I just tried to find my own niche.
Preserving the integrity of Black comedians should be a collective effort, transcending racial boundaries. Figures like Arsenio Hall have exemplified this responsibility, working tirelessly to protect the reputation of Black comedians. However, recent reports suggest that Hall is disillusioned with his efforts, feeling they have been in vain due to individuals like Tyler Perry, whom he believes undermine the progress made. For those unfamiliar with his influential era, Arsenio Hall is a renowned stand-up comedian and actor who hosted a groundbreaking late-night talk show from 1989 to 1994. His show quickly became a sensation, offering a refreshing departure from the traditional late-night format.
Great show.
Come on, baby. Let's get nice.
Arsenio Hall swiftly gained fame for revolutionizing late-night television with his relaxed demeanor and eclectic mix of guests. One of the show's most memorable features was Burton Richardson's drawn-out introduction, elongating the O in Arsenio before enthusiastically exclaiming, "Hall." This signature style, coupled with Arsenio's iconic stance, head bowed, hands clasped, legs forming an A, became emblematic of the show's laid-back charm. The Arsenio Hall show broke new ground, leaving an indelible mark on American pop culture. Its impact on music and its commitment to diverse representation resonated deeply, making it a cultural touchstone. By making late-night TV more inviting to a wider audience, it became a phenomenon of its time, with catchphrases and introductions etching themselves into the collective memory. Despite its absence from the airwaves for over 20 years, the Arsenio Hall show remains fondly remembered, its influence still evident in today's media landscape.
How smart Arsenio was.
Smart enough to weather efforts by his competitors to keep big-name celebrities off his show. And
Hall is often celebrated for revolutionizing the public's perception of political candidates. One notable instance was when he welcomed then-unknown candidate Bill Clinton onto his show. In a spontaneous move, Hall invited Clinton to join the band and play the saxophone, a skill Clinton had honed in high school. Clinton enthusiastically accepted the challenge. Reflecting on this moment, Hall remarked, "I got a little bit of credit for showing him to a younger demographic, and I got a little credit for changing how people run for the highest office in the land." If the Arsenio Hall show had been around in 2016, it's plausible that the outcome of the presidential election could have been influenced, particularly considering its historical impact on Bill Clinton's campaign. Clinton's appearance on the show played a significant role in his ability to resonate with young voters and the urban community, including people of color. His charismatic performance, complete with shades and saxophone skills, helped him connect with a demographic that might have otherwise felt disconnected from politics. In contrast, Hillary Clinton faced criticism for what some perceived as pandering to the Black community during her campaign. Bill Clinton, often regarded as the closest thing to a Black president before Obama, had a unique ability to bridge gaps and appeal to a diverse audience. Had Hillary Clinton been given the opportunity to showcase her relatability on a platform like the Arsenio Hall show, perhaps her appeal to voters, particularly among young and urban demographics, would have been strengthened. The show's ability to humanize candidates and make them more relatable could have potentially impacted the election outcome, but Cochran's devotional explained that Hall had a much bigger and largely unacknowledged influence on global culture. Hall used his unapologetically Black late-night party as a platform to showcase talented musicians of color, including hip-hop artists who were then mostly unknown to white audiences. East Coast, West Coast, New Jack, crossover pop, they were all there. This was only about a year after Yo, MTV Raps hit the scene, and a year before In Living Color and Fox's hip-hop-centric lineup, she tweeted. So there weren't many spaces to see our artists and our culture on mainstream TV. More evidence that diversity in entertainment matters. Cochran posted short clips of notable segments that will take you all the way back. Hall wasn't playing around. The bookers for the other late-night shows probably didn't even know what a Das Fs or a Fushnikins was, she says. Arsenio did, though. Then she shared this clip of the late Luther Vandross, who was a guest on Hall's very first show along with Brooke Shields and Leslie Nielsen, and it took my breath away. Vandross dropped a quick a cappella version of Let Me Take You Home, a song that remains indelible on everybody's hippocampus and heart, and it was like he never left us.
The first night on the air, my first musical guest was this man, and Marla, I know you know that this is what I wanted.
The song, with its themes of longing and intimacy, resonated deeply with listeners who were navigating their own emotions and desires. However, revisiting it now, they realized that Luther Vandross's longing stemmed from a vastly different experience than their own. Vandross, a closeted gay man, passed away in 2005, unable to witness the increasing acceptance and affirmation of LGBTQ plus individuals in society. According to a 2017 interview with his friend Patti LaBelle, Vandross chose to remain private about his S-orientation, partly out of consideration for his predominantly female fan base and primarily to avoid upsetting his mother. LaBelle shared this insight on the Bravo show Watch What Happens Live, shedding light on Vandross's personal struggles and decisions. Basically, he did not want his mother to be upset, although she might have known, but he wasn't going to come out and say this to the world. One can't help but wonder if Arsenio Hall, had his show continued, might have played a role in accelerating societal acceptance and understanding. Sadly, the show was canceled due to declining ratings. However, Queen Latifah orchestrated a heartfelt farewell segment where Vandross paid tribute to Hall, acknowledging his profound impact on both the show's audience and American culture at large. Vandross's words underscored the depth of affection and gratitude felt towards Hall, suggesting that his departure left a significant void in the fabric of American entertainment. People love this man so unconditionally, and he's been part of our lives and done so much for us, Vandross told the audience on Hall's final show. I'm sad to see you go because America is going to have a big chunk missing. During the early 90s, when many black comedians were heavily influenced by Richard Pryor, Arsenio Hall stood out by infusing his own brand of comedy with broad appeal. With his infectious smile, lively demeanor, and a perspective on life that resonated with audiences of all backgrounds, Arsenio managed to make his humor universally relatable. Throughout the initial 5-year run of his nationally syndicated show from 1989 to 1994, he provided a platform for the black community that was otherwise absent in late-night television, giving voice to issues and perspectives that were often overlooked elsewhere.
This is cable, so I can say it like I really felt. That's a plan, or that's what I really felt, you know? Magic, you see when they family be.
During the era of Jay Leno, Johnny Carson, and Conan O'Brien, the Arsenio Hall Show played a crucial role in promoting artists of color to a broader audience. In the late 80s and early 90s, hip-hop culture had minimal representation, often confined to a 2-hour segment on Yo MTV Raps. Despite acts like NWA and Tupac emerging as influential figures across genres, their visibility was constrained by the mainstream media's portrayal of them as controversial. However, Arsenio Hall provided a platform for black artists such as Eddie Murphy, Michael Jackson, Will Smith, and Snoop Dogg to express themselves authentically on national television without apology.
What do you hate most about show business?
I don't hate anything about show business. I don't hate it. I love what I do, and I love...
Comedy serves as a powerful conduit for information, and Arsenio Hall's show stood out by not only spotlighting underrepresented entertainers, but also addressing pertinent issues affecting urban communities through entertaining and enlightening segments. Hall brought together prominent gangster rappers like Eazy-E, Ice-T, and NWA, some representing rival gangs, to perform We're All in the Same Gang, a powerful denouncement of gang violence. He also facilitated discussions on pressing issues, such as bringing Magic Johnson to address HIV stigma and inviting Louis Farrakhan to discuss the Nation of Islam and the legacy of Malcolm X. Amidst the backdrop of the LA riots and national attention on police brutality, Arsenio emerged as a beacon of positivity and unity within the black community. As competition intensified from programs like those hosted by Letterman, Leno, and the emerging Jon Stewart, the Arsenio Hall Show faced declining ratings, leading to its end in 1994. However, before its conclusion, the show made history by hosting an iconic hip-hop cypher featuring A Tribe Called Quest, MC Lyte, KRS-One, and other notable names who came together to bid Hall farewell.
And this is how we gonna do this. This is for you, Arsenio. Check it out.
Following his tenure as a talk show host, Arsenio Hall continued to thrive as a comedian and actor, notably co-starring with Eddie Murphy in Coming to America and lending his voice to Winston in the Ghostbusters cartoon, alongside various other television appearances. The anticipation was palpable when CBS announced the return of the Arsenio Hall show in 2013. However, its brief revival underscored a sobering reality. Despite the passage of time, little had changed. Police brutality continued to dominate national discourse, and late-night television remained predominantly the domain of cisgender white men. In 2013, Arsenio Hall returned to familiar territory, but still managed to stand out amidst competitors like Stewart, Colbert, and O'Brien. His devoted audience, affectionately known as the Dog Pound, continued to rally behind him with their signature fist-pumping woof, 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 woof. However, even with this loyal support, it wasn't enough to sustain his show. Despite its short-lived run, the second iteration of the Arsenio Hall show brought a much-needed fresh perspective to late-night television. While figures like Trevor Noah have since emerged on Comedy Central, their shows often still adhere to the narrative established by Stewart and Colbert. It's insufficient merely to provide representation for Black individuals in late-night programming if their perspectives aren't authentically rooted in the Black experience. However, according to recent reports, tables are turning, and what Hall accomplished is now being diminished by dominant figures like Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry's ascent from the Atlanta theater scene to box office success with his Medea series is undeniable. However, his journey has been accompanied by controversy. There have been rumors of Perry's ego causing clashes, even with influential figures like Oprah. In the competitive realm of Hollywood, maneuvering without encountering controversy can be difficult, and it seems Perry has not been immune to such challenges.
Hearing all this noise, man, it was crazy because there were no Black people on television. Before diversity became a thing, Tyler Perry was the only one out there for a long time.
After finding success at the box office, Tyler Perry expanded into television with his hit sitcom, House of Pain. However, controversy erupted during negotiations for a syndication deal and a spin-off series titled Meet the Browns. Reports surfaced that Perry dismissed 4 writers who had sought union contracts, sparking a contentious situation within the industry. Writer Terry Jackson expressed disappointment, stating to Deadline, "We were good enough to create over 100 episodes, but now when it comes to reaping the benefits of the show being syndicated and having other spin-offs from it, he decides to let us go unless we accept a horrible offer." Tyler Perry responded to the writers' room dispute by asserting control over the creative process, stating that he would personally handle all writing duties. However, Perry's conflicts with unions extended beyond the writers' room. In 2015, actor unions SAG-AFTRA and Actors Equity took action by barring their members from participating in Perry's stage play Medea on the Run due to his production company's refusal to sign union contracts. While Perry may prioritize profit maximization, his approach has not garnered universal approval within the industry.
There's a camera on you, baby.
There's a camera on me right
back behind you.
Oh, hello, praise the Lord. We'd like to tell everybody in Dallas that we are on our way.
In the wake of the success of House of Pain and Meet the Browns, African-American journalist and cultural critic Jamila Lemieux penned an open letter to Tyler Perry, which was published by NPR. In her letter, Lemieux expressed her discomfort with Perry's use of stereotypes in his work. She wrote, "Through her, the country has laughed at one of the most important members of the Black community, Mother Dear, the beloved matriarch. I just can't quite get with seeing Mother Dear played by a 6'3" man with prosthetic breasts flopping in the wind. Our mothers and grandmothers deserve much more than that. Heck, our fathers and grandfathers deserve more. Mr. Perry, you have told the Hollywood old guard to kiss your backside, and I appreciate that, brother, but many Black folks have expressed some of the very same attitudes about your work that white critics have." Acclaimed film director Spike Lee is one of the notable figures who criticized Tyler Perry for his use of stereotypical characters in his work. Lee is well known for openly addressing this issue with Perry.
There, a lot of stuff that's on today is coonery buffoonery. And I know it's making a lot of money.
Spike Lee went on to suggest that because of these stereotypical movies, individuals like Tyler Perry were breaking records. In his view, the industry could do better by avoiding such biased and nonsensical movies that featured designated one-dimensional characters.
Breaking records, but we could do better.
Tyler Perry's approach to casting and character portrayal has become noticeable to viewers, leading to discussions about his business strategy. Some individuals argue that Perry tends to cast dark-skinned actors in villainous roles while portraying light-skinned individuals as heroes in his movies and shows. This perception has generated discussion and debate within his audience.
Full black woman being abused by a no-good, dark-skinned man, and then saved and rescued by the perfect light-skinned man.
During an event, Chris Rock also pointed out the recurring theme in Tyler Perry's movies, noting that there is often a limited portrayal of kind and respectful dark-skinned black boyfriends in Perry's films. He supported his statement by referencing Tupac Shakur, suggesting that Perry's films could offer a broader range of character representation. He said, Tupac might be a political leader if he was alive, but then again, Tupac might be in a Tyler Perry movie right now, so you don't know, Tupac might be the bad, dark-skinned boyfriend in the Tyler Perry movie. Chris Rock's point was that Tupac was a highly renowned and popular rapper during his time. However, if Tupac were given the opportunity to appear in a Tyler Perry movie, Rock believed there would be a minimal chance that Tupac would be cast as a heroic character based on Perry's typical casting patterns. He further went on saying, I would hope he's a senator, but he might be kicking Jill Scott down a flight of stairs. In Tyler Perry movies, there's always okay. Chris Rock's perspective aligned with Spike Lee's criticism, emphasizing that some prominent movies may achieve success because of Tyler Perry's perceived biased casting and storytelling choices. Both Rock and Lee raised concerns about the impact of such ideology on the film industry.
Going back to Mantan Moreland and Sleep and Eat.
Yet, if those films, we're talking about...
Examining the entertainment industry reveals the prevalence of colorism within its ranks. Hollywood in particular has come under significant scrutiny, often through social media campaigns utilizing hashtags that swiftly transition from Twitter to mainstream news outlets. Some argue that Harvey Weinstein, a convicted SO, was among the first high-profile figures to cast a shadow over the industry. In 2017, numerous allegations of essays surfaced, shining a light on the darker facets of Hollywood's culture.
Documentary that is all about the dark side of Hollywood and how some power players allegedly use their positions to prey on young aspiring actors.
In the wake of the #MeToo movement controversy, numerous scandals rocked Hollywood. These scandals included comedian Kevin Hart stepping down as the Oscars host in 2019 due to the resurfacing of past homophobic tweets. Additionally, the #OscarsSoWhite campaign demanded increased diversity in the Oscars and greater recognition for people of color and marginalized communities. As a result, Hollywood's reputation has been significantly tarnished, with the once illustrious Walk of Fame appearing more like an uninspiring walk of shame without stars.
Kevin Hart has stepped down from hosting this year's Oscars. He put out a statement on Twitter tonight saying, I have made the choice.
In a February afternoon in 1940s America, actress Hattie McDaniel achieved a historic milestone by winning the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress in Gone with the Wind 1940. Notably, she became the first African American to receive this prestigious film award. While celebrating her victory and leaving an indelible mark on cinema history, the joy was tempered by the stark reality that she would be segregated from the rest of the attendees at an Oscars ceremony that effectively operated as a whites-only event. Instead of being a celebration, this event was marked more by segregation than jubilation.
I sincerely hope I shall always be a credit to my race and to the motion picture industry. My heart is too full to tell you just how I feel.
80 years later, the film industry still grapples with a form of routine discrimination, despite some progress in increasing diversity. The 2020 Oscars ceremony was marred by racial controversies that have become all too common for both viewers and industry participants. Major snubs, such as the omission of Lupita Nyong'o for her outstanding performance in the 2019 film Us, exemplify this issue.
And the Oscar goes to Lupita Nyong'o.
The portrayal of dark-skinned actors as villains in Tyler Perry's movies has become a noticeable pattern, and it's no longer hidden. One major example is Steve Harris, who played Charles McCarter in Tyler's classic movie, Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Despite being a successful lawyer, Charles is far from being an ideal husband. Shockingly, he discloses the existence of another woman in his life to his wife, Helen, and proceeds to treat her rudely, eventually kicking her out of their home. This portrayal contributes to the ongoing conversation about representation and bias in Hollywood.
You don't see it?
No.
You ain't good for nothing. Find my bank statement and get the accountant on the phone. Then call Calvin and tell him to get over here and you can leave.
The challenges of limited and stereotypical roles for black actors seem to persist into the 1990s. Blair Underwood recalled that during this period, virtually every black actor and actress in Hollywood, regardless of their name recognition or skill level, found themselves auditioning for the same roles, highlighting the lack of diverse opportunities in the industry.
Been a history buff like most of my life. I love history.
You do?
I don't know a lot about history, but I love it.
When you were a kid?
Ion Overman's portrayal of Linda Davis in Tyler Perry's Medea Goes to Jail showcases another instance of a dark-skinned actor playing a negative character. Linda is depicted as an envious assistant district attorney engaged to Joshua, engaging in illegal activities such as fraud and evidence tampering. Similarly, Ron Rico Lee portrays Chuck, an assistant district attorney and Joshua's friend in the film. Additionally, Brian White's role as Randy in Tyler Perry's I Can Do Bad All by Myself further exemplifies this trend. Randy is depicted as an abusive boyfriend and the antagonist of the show. These portrayals raise important questions about representation and the perpetuation of stereotypes in the entertainment industry.
The way you've been looking at me. See, this here my house, and I can let you and two little nappy boys stay here.
Right.
You might notice that all the negative characters in Tyler's movies and shows are very abusive towards women. This thing has been very concerning, and many people raised their voices for this too. One such example was seen in his shows Bruh and Sistas. Bruh seems to revolve around the lives of 4 black men as they navigate various aspects of their lives, including relationships, friendships, and careers. The synopsis suggests that these men share a deep and enduring bond that resembles family, even if they aren't related by blood. Their close-knit friendship is characterized by warmth and camaraderie, evident from their bright and happy smiles in the promotional material.
Yeah.
You seem nervous.
I'm a little confused. Wait. Okay, take it back.
Sistas appears to center around the lives of 4 independent black women. With the tagline, single but never solo, the show hints at exploring their experiences amidst the complexities of single life. However, the synopsis lacks mention of their friendships or careers, and the promotional image showcases each woman separately rather than together. While their shared status as single women suggests a common thread, the series may focus on their individual journeys through the world of dating and beyond.
Look at me.
I'm looking.
Karen, I don't love you no more. I don't want to be with you.
Criticism of colorism also surfaced regarding his other film, A Fall from Grace. The narrative follows Grace Waters, depicted by Crystal Fox, as she embarks on a journey to find love anew, following the betrayal of her ex-husband's affair. However, her pursuit leads her to unravel unsettling truths about her new spouse, portrayed by Mehcad Brooks. Grace's vulnerability takes a sinister turn, culminating in accusations of murder and fraud that result in her incarceration. Through its storyline, the film delves into themes of love, betrayal, and the ramifications of one's choices.
You wake up, you don't know that today will be the day to change your life.
Grace, please tell me when.
Tyler Perry's films, such as Acrimony, frequently spark lively discussions and debates on social media platforms like Twitter. Some viewers critique Perry for consistently depicting the trauma endured by black women due to men in his movies. Conversely, others contend that he is bringing attention to real-life challenges that resonate with many black women. These debates underscore Perry's storytelling prowess and his knack for initiating dialogues about significant societal issues. One of the internet users said, "Tyler Perry refuses to produce a show that doesn't involve the emotional torture, and beating of the downtrodden black women." Another one wrote, "Tyler Perry has literally went from sleeping in his car broke to having a net worth of $600 million, opening a huge studio in Atlanta to employ aspiring black actresses and actors, so put some respect on his name. His movies tells the pain women go through." Critics of Tyler Perry maintain that while he has made significant contributions to the black community, he should also be held accountable for his shortcomings. They point to instances in his films and television productions where black women are depicted in unfavorable situations or subjected to negative treatment. Some argue that Perry's works promote respectability politics, suggesting that conformity to certain societal norms is the sole route to fulfillment and achievement for his characters. Moreover, there are concerns that Tyler Perry's extensive creative control may overshadow other talented black and brown female writers and directors in the industry. This is exemplified by his adaptation of Ntozake Shong's play for colored girls who have considered suicide when the rainbow is enough. These criticisms indicate a call for a more nuanced and responsible portrayal of characters and narratives in Perry's work, while also advocating for greater diversity and inclusion behind the scenes in the entertainment industry.
And television, it's been done the same way for years. You know, you record an image and you put it out there. Well, just because it's been done that way for many, many years doesn't...
Many black comedians like Dave Chappelle have criticized Tyler Perry, not just actors. Over time, numerous black comedians have used cross-dressing in their comedy acts to provoke laughter. This technique involves contrasting their authoritative presence with the comical image of them in dresses and high heels. While it often results in comedic moments, it also holds deeper implications. What are the repercussions of employing cross-dressing as a comedic device within this framework? As Dave Chappelle once remarked,
"When I see that they put every black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career, I'll be connecting them down like, wow, these brothers gotta wear a dress."
Tyler Perry's success isn't confined to the gospel play arena. He's also made significant strides in the film industry, extending his unique portrayal to a wider cinematic audience.
It's a stage play. It's like Broadway, just with black people.
Tyler Perry's latest book, Don't Make a Black Woman Take Off Her Earrings, made its mark on the prestigious New York Times bestsellers list, raising an intriguing question. What lies beneath this phenomenon? Why do these artists opt to partake in acts that seemingly challenge conventional masculinity? And why does the audience eagerly embrace the spectacle of black men in such scenarios? One perspective suggests that depicting black masculinity in a more feminine light could potentially diminish the perception of threat and foster comfort for certain individuals. These portrayals of black men in cross-dressing roles might serve as a counterbalance to the dominant and assertive image often associated with hip-hop culture. For years, Hollywood has faced considerable backlash for its contribution to perpetuating stereotypes, which, regrettably, have influenced how the public perceives black individuals for a substantial segment of the audience. During this time, a contentious debate arose, indicating that the scarcity of opportunities within the entertainment industry frequently compelled black artists to embrace stereotypical roles as a means of sustaining their careers and livelihoods. While racial equality remains an ongoing goal in the entertainment industry, contemporary performers do possess a level of agency over their decisions. What continues to pique interest regarding these modern figures is their apparent openness to embracing cross-dressing roles, with Kevin Hart notably standing out in this aspect.
Pope Conventione is lifting her arms into her signature muscle man pose.
Numerous voices have expressed their opposition to the increasing prevalence of black men in dresses, asserting that this trend has reached a saturation point. They argue that our society is already inundated with various influences that may undermine the perception of black men's masculinity, and there is no need to exacerbate these dynamics any further.
Things happen that can possibly affect your brand. Your brand can be diminished, and you don't want that to happen. So, protecting my brand is definitely a priority.
It's truly disheartening that there's opposition to seeing more instances of black men in dresses. This trend appears to have reached its peak, and our society is already contending with numerous factors that can erode the perception of black men's masculinity. We firmly believe there's no necessity to further fuel these dynamics.
Stupid. At the end of the day, you got to know that you're a brand. I'm a brand. You need to protect your brand at all times. When things happen that can...
In comparison to Tyler Perry, Arsenio Hall has made significant contributions to his fellow comedians and offered support. His influence on late-night TV is still evident, as demonstrated by appearances from groups like Migos on shows like The Tonight Show and Ellen. Although Arsenio may not be preparing for a comeback to the late-night circuit in the near future, his upcoming stand-up dates at Goodnight's Comedy Club offer a chance to experience a mix of hilarious anecdotes and valuable life lessons from a pioneering entertainer. That's it for today. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.